Hello, it's Izzy doing another vid, driving home, and yeah, just interesting the way people accept, and we can't help it. A lot of it's the marketing of drugs or products. There's an industry that's always pushing these things. So I encounter people when their solution is to, I better get more antibiotics, I better get more steroids, but is it healthy? Really, is it healthy? That's a big question when you're dependent on the industry to keep you going. And I mean, I know it's difficult, and some medicines you probably do need something in place. I mean, it's one of them things, really. Like I had, I experienced for my father. I think he would be a lot worse than he is at the moment, but he's starting to suffer from some problems. Like he had to run off and go for a walk somewhere in the daytime, frequent with my mat. So it's one of them things. So there are some drugs, and they do have a place in our society. It's just that people embrace them as the answer to all their problems, and it gets really on my nerves, to be honest, because they're not going to solve your health problems. They're not going to deal with everything in your life. You know, they're not going to get rid of everything. You know, they're not fixers for everything. They're just short-term solutions. It's a difficult one, though. For some people, they need them, you know, or they need something, and they're working through stuff, and that's fine. But for other people, they just take them willy-nilly. You know, somebody says you need to take paracetamol 4 times a day, they just do it. And then you say, well, are you in pain? Do you need them? And then they think, oh, maybe not, actually. So sometimes people, they get prescribed these drugs, and it does say on the packaging as required. I think some people just kind of like take them all the time. And it's just one of them sad things, right? So that's one thing to moan about. And also, it's very difficult with parents and their old values. My mum, for instance, bless her soul, just as an example, really, is that she's grown up in a particular era, and you know, like for somebody to say they want to go vegan, she thinks something's completely wrong with them. And they said, oh, and then she'd look for things to support her view. So she'd say, well, you need to have meat, which is probably true. You need to have some of these certain fats in your diet for your hormones, and the more of these certain fats, the better you are health-wise. But that's her views, that you know, you have to have meat, you have to have vegetables. And she's obsessed by fruit as well. I said, you don't have to have fruit all the time. Because I told her I just had like this keto food. I was just eating like a fry up, you know, like 10 sausages and so many eggs and stuff. And she's like, well, don't you have any fruit? And I was like, no. And she was like, And then she said, well, you've got to have fruit, and the thing is, you don't have to have fruit. You don't, I mean, so I said, yeah, sure, we get vegetables and so on, but if you live in the UK, it's not full of fruit when people moved in here. You know, there might be apples and some other things, and there's nuts and stuff you can have, but there ain't loads of fruit everywhere. You know, what about people that lived in the Highlands? I mean, I don't think there are lots of apple orchards up there. So it's just interesting the way people, there might be some apple orchards, I don't know. I could imagine you probably fish and things like that, there's more abundance. You feed them what your abundance is, and your body adapts to it. And your body can produce some vitamins, it produces its own stuff internally, but you probably need the right sort of minerals as well. And the right sort of energy, and that's probably another thing if you want to get into conspiracies around chemtrails. is we use sunlight to make vitamin D, but maybe we use it for other things as well. Maybe it produces other vitamins in the body. You know, maybe they're just not telling us. And that's the assumption, is that if the science says, I had a client, right, and what he told me was that if you eat 3 eggs a week, or maybe eat 3 eggs in one go, the chances of you getting cancer is increased and stuff like that. And I thought, what rubbish. I said to him, yeah, it depends what they actually feed the chickens. If they're pumping with drugs and stuff and it goes into their eggs, certainly. But a natural food shouldn't be cancer causing. And there's some people that believe you're born with cancer, you've got cancer in you. It's all a bunch of crap, basically, and people are selling these ideas because they're trying to embed it into your consciousness. So you're seeding disease. And all they want is, the industry wants to give you drugs, and they want to keep you tied under. It makes no sense. It really doesn't make any sense. We need to make drugs to control people's bodies. So that basically, I tell you what it feels like. It feels like humanity came in and was here, and then some other beings turned up and said, who are these guys? And then they didn't like us, but they couldn't get rid of us either. And so they've been passively trying to chip away at us, fashion us to go into warfare, kill each other. They want to turn us into robots. You know, they want to add these implants to our bodies. They want to find what medicines can mess around with our bodies and maintain us, control us, manipulate us, weaken us as a species. And then they're trying to cherry pick some of the people out of the species that they want to have. You know, like these old rich people that probably they eat the proper diet. You know, they're not having loads of McDonald's and stuff like that. Not picking on McDonald's, I don't know what's in McDonald's, but it doesn't have a reputation of being the most healthiest food on the planet. You know, so it's not gonna. I mean, somebody did have a load of McDonald's. He did some sort of project where he ate them for a month, and he ate a Big Mac every day, and he started putting on loads of weight. So, and he just had like a ready meal, or whatever they have. Or not a ready meal, they have like well, it was a meal and it was ready. That's about it. A Big Mac meal and things like that, and not picking on that. I mean, there's other places out there. The thing is, it's not healthy food, and the lights keep changing. So it's just identifying these things, and you don't get sucked in. There's stuff on TV. They're just watching TV all the time. They're going on about South Syria and how the leader's so bad. I'm saying, don't you think it's just propaganda you're being fed? I said, don't you understand that the world's split into three? You've got China, so you've got your different families. You've got your dragons family, you've got a dragon family, but you've got the royal ones. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe just sit and watch back and watch the games begin, sort of thing. Then you've got the Chinese dragon societies and families, and links into their emperor and stuff like that. And the Russians, I don't know what Russians are driven by, but you've got secret society, you've got the Freemasons. You know, they're sort of a mixture of, I think the Templars got screwed over and the Freemasons took over them, but I don't know. There's other secret societies, but they've all brought them under their wing, or maybe they worked from within. So it's the internal secret society warfare. So one group takes out another, and then the other seeks revenge. But by doing it, he says, well, I'll tell you what, I'll plant the seed into your group, and then this person will rise the ranks and become a leader. Or here, co-opt people to believe in what he does and have another society. Or I take over this old knowledge and I roll it out as my own. Or I miss things out. And there's also stuff about, God's sake, what's happening here? It's blocked off, you'll get over, mate. Who's stolen my road? Yeah, you got to keep going. have robbed me of my road. So yeah, bastards, aren't they? So yeah, so you got the different secret societies, and then secret societies within secret societies. I think maybe I should just join one for fun, but the only thing is you have to keep paying money into them. And does that sound like a secret society, or does that sound like some weird club that's going to take advantage of you? Let's come over behind this guy. I want to go home, not playing around all night long. So a lot of that goes on. I don't know. Let's see. We had the Tsar of Russia. You had some royal family. This car is just so slow. He's got his lights on as well. Get your fucking lights on, you crazy. He's flickering his lights on and off. Or is he being taken over by someone? Don't know. Let's have a look at his number plate. Oh, surveillance operation. Put it into Google till it comes up. You know, that'll probably happen in the future. I joke about this, but things like Facebook, they will ask you for your registration. I'm surprised they haven't done that. And they say it's to verify who you are, and you know, keep people safe and stuff. Look at this guy. Turn his fucking lights off. But why would you turn your lights off in the dark? I mean, what's wrong with your lights? So he turns it back on again. What does it mean? Is it Morse code? Does he have an electrical fault problem with his car? He shouldn't be on the road, you know? Because someone across the road, and sees this black thing coming down the road, and they go bang. So I can go to Thames Valley Police. Car without any lights on. I wonder what they think if I send that over to them. Probably say, what the hell are you doing video and can't ask you permission? But, you know, it's potentially caused an accident. I mean, I've got my lights on. And this person knows he's got their lights on, keeps turning them off. Or they're an inexperienced driver, or they've borrowed a car that's not theirs. Something else. But they turn them on to and go back off again. So, I don't know. You know, if you want to charge your battery, you just got to drive around. Anyway, I've got to moan about them. So what do the Russians have? Or are they trying to be independent of it? They do have their own church. So they're probably, where their connection is, would be they've got their Orthodox Russian church or something like that. And then so you've got also you've got the Vatican. So maybe they got a connection to the Vatican, religious influences. And they're very much, I mean, I'm assuming they're against, because they're like the agricultural arm of the world. They've got fuel there, and they've got great land for growing food and stuff. They've got close ties with the dragon families. They got sort of debased when the royal family, their royal family got massacred. It was nasty, and it was a sort of part of this Jewish sect that's out there as well, who have influenced a lot of things. You know, it's got a lot of philosophy. Like look at things like Wicca, and you got these got a book on magic. I was looking at some magic book. Probably not Wicca. Maybe we'll say a bit more broader than that. Let's say witchcraft or something like that. And it's got a lot of had stuff to do with angels, and that comes from a Hebrew side. I mean, I can understand you believe in angels, but if you've got to call it Michael and Raphael, and one is the north, one is the south, and things like that. The problem is with that is you can summon up angels, and if they're like this archetype of a set angel beliefs, what you need to do is see it for yourself. Now I had a little look at different angels, and there's also angels that go off from the they go for the like northeast, southeast, or, you know, all these different directions. There are also angels in there. Then you've got the dark angels, I guess. That's really what they are. Angels of light, angels of shadow, and the darker ones are they fall into what we call the demon realm. It's only because they might have changed their form, or people's consciousness twist their forms as well. What are you doing? There's a motorbike coming at me and all sorts of stuff. Okay, we've just gone in the park. Go forward then. A bit closer. Close. Yeah, baby. So there's a lot more out there when it comes to angels. I mean, I can do a lot of this work into my own book of shadows. I can do this work. All this knowledge is there. It's, you know, I get told things or get fed information into my brain. Like you could read Braille with a device. That came through today, and it was in my head. And I thought, well, I know that, but you know, I don't think you wouldn't want to invent something to read Braille. But it could be great. You know, it could be like a universal translator. That might be interesting. It could be that somebody can't use Braille but wants to read it, and there's a way to sort of scan it, I think. So, I mean, who knows? It could also be really good as a language for robots or something, because it can form into geometric shapes. But then again, the symbology of all words is geometrics. So, and then it goes into magic, and that's what we call it, spelling, and things like that. It's like the weather girls and forecasting were the witches. So, and is witches, does that refer to a female or a male? I think it's a female, because witches, wizards, and so on. It's up to what people want to choose them to be. But it's a kind of, it's a positive thing. You wouldn't want necessarily, you know, like you wouldn't want to say a bloke to take on the word diva and say, yeah, I mean, it might do. You know, they can do if they associate themselves like that. People might say, yeah, that person's a diva. But it's this kind of mixing up feminine and masculine, and then fall into these certain types. So always you'll get like women saying they're warlocks and wizards. And it takes the beauty out of the language, because there's history to it, there's culture. What you're doing is you're eroding culture by saying, oh no, but it doesn't state male or female, or whatever sexuality, but it doesn't matter. But it's nice to kind of keep a framework in place, you know? Otherwise, if you throw out all the basic norms out the window, what are you left with? There's no longer culture. They bang on about culture, and then they try to destroy it. Which is a weird thing, methinks. So anyway, this is Picture sign off. Have a great one, and speak to you soon.